Hey guys, I am just getting set up here. Good morning. I'm just getting set up here. We still have 5 minutes before the video, so I'm gonna let some people. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Marie. Yeah, I'm so happy you guys are up early enough to join me. I decided today's Friday, and Ernie comes home about 1:30 today. So I thought, good morning, good morning, good morning. For Vlogmas, I would go live. So this is Vlogmas Day 6. I can't believe I'm doing Vlogmas. But you know what? I've been pretty much uploading every day anyways. I'm trying to grow my channel. And that requires work. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Ooh, 5 a.m., Sally. You're up early. Good morning. Good morning. Aw, you guys are all so sweet for joining me. Does everybody have their coffee? Coffee? I'm going to do my makeup. I hope you guys don't mind. Just a quick little. I'm just going to use this time to get ready for the day. It's so cold outside. Okay. All right. I wonder if I shouldn't put the camera behind the monitor so that yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. Let's see. Let me know what the weather's like where you're at. I woke up to 18 degrees or 17 degrees. It said it felt like 12 or something. I don't know. But we are supposed to heat up. I think today's the last day of that cold blast from Canada. Thank you, Canada, by the way. I figured I would do 59. Nice. I started using Laura Geller. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her. Or it. I finally bought it. It's so nice. I've already washed and moisturized my face. Good morning. Old Sound 25. Oh my gosh. 60. Wonderful. There's a 56 in Arizona. That's cold for Arizona. 44 in Texas. Oh man. Yeah, it's cold. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Don't you just love being old? My brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to work anymore. I forget everything, I feel like. So Ernie's coming home today early, and we're going to drive over to the house, make sure no pipes have bursted or anything. Drive over to the country house, and I don't know what else we're going to do. We're out there. Just make sure everything's okay with it, because I haven't been there all week. I was supposed to go today. I might have mentioned it. I was supposed to go today to meet the cable company, but then Ernie told me his plane was coming in at I think he said 1:30. It's early, and the time window to meet the cable company was 1 to 4. And I thought, well, I don't want to go sit out there for 4 hours. And then it's dark when, you know, I come home because it's dark at 4:30, and I didn't want to do that. So I rescheduled for next Friday, and he'll be home. Can you guys believe it's literally almost Christmas? I was talking to my son last night, and he said, or we were talking, he came over with the three littles, because my daughter-in-law was hosting women's group at their house, and he said, he came over here, even though they have somebody who watches the kids. One of the neighbors comes and watches all the kids for the ladies. But my granddaughter is bossy, so he has to get her out of the house because she wants to boss all the kids around. So anyways, she's like 𝓕𝓸𝓹. She takes after me. She's very bossy. Anyways, that's all the makeup I'm doing. So I brought all this other stuff, and I'm like, that's good. So anyways, they came over yesterday, and we were talking, and so not this weekend, but next weekend, the kids are coming to spend the weekend, even the baby. It's the first time we're going to have him overnight. 39 in the Panhandle. Whoa. House is super warm this morning. I can't sleep with the heater on. I'll get back to my story in a second. My son, when he left last night, he goes, Mom, make sure to leave the heater on tonight. It's supposed to be 17 degrees. I'm like, I don't sleep with the heater on. Matter of fact, I sleep with the ceiling fan on. It's got to be like polar cold in my room for me to sleep well. And guess what? I probably fell asleep about 9:15 last night. Literally, like, passed out after talking to Ernie, and turned the TV off, rolled over, shut my eyes, and I woke up at 5 this morning. I slept so good. I like this makeup. It's really quick. So I'm going to get back to my story, I promise. It's, what do they call it? Buildable. So you can build on it. So if I wanted to, before I put like color, I could have just kept going and build on it. But literally, this is what comes in your kit. You got, and this. So this is the foundation. No, this is the foundation. This is the highlighter, or whatever you want to call it. I usually just put this around my eyes to brighten them up. And then this is your blush. And it comes with the lipstick, which I'm not going to put on because it's going to get all over my coffee cup. And then this brush. So I usually will use it wide open for the foundation part. And then I make it small like that and tight to do the brightener. So it's a really quick, and I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. It's crazy. Some nights I go to bed forgetting to wash my face. That's how light it is. Like I forget to wash my face. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to wash my face last night. It's so cold. Okay. So he was leaving, and I said, oh my gosh. I said, Christmas is literally, I mean, think about it, Christmas week, right, is the week after we watch the kids that weekend. Like, where did the month go? It's so wild. So anyways, yeah. Oh, hold on really quick 1 second. I need to do something. Oh. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So, anyways, did I get that right? Okay, sorry. Okay, squirrel. Shoot, I was saying something. Okay, it'll come. I don't know. I gotta go back to my chat here. Okay. You know, you freaking losers that get on here. You guys are you're a loser. I can't stand losers like you. You're such a loser. I can't stand losers, like frickin' trolls that come on here. They're so gross. Ew. Ew. I don't do trolls. Ew. You know what's so funny about this whole setup, this and this? In my generation, we didn't have this. So if we wanted to talk smack, we did it to people's faces and we suffered the consequences, right? Nowadays, you have these losers that come on here and, oh my gosh, such a loser. Yeah, they're trolls. They come on here and they hide. They're called keyboard warriors. And I may be 59 and look really sweet and act really sweet, but I promise you, you would not say those words to my face. I promise you. Okay, let's move on, shall we? All right. I haven't even started my shopping. Ernie and I are going this weekend. We have our eye appointment tomorrow morning, and I'm going to get new glasses. Brusha. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what frames I want. I think I want like thick black. I don't know. I'm going to have fun with it. So we're going to do that tomorrow, and then we're going to go Christmas shopping. So we're going to get all the grandkids here and we're going to celebrate Christmas with them while they're here that weekend. Let them open their gifts and all that stuff. Yeah, I block them, Karen. I block anybody. Even if I have somebody who comes on my channel and comments all the time really nice and then they say something stupid, they get blocked. I just don't put up with it. That's the beauty of it. You can block people. I don't put up with it. I don't do YouTube for people to come and be dumb. So, yeah, they get blocked. They get, first, if they're rude, they get reported. And then, thank you, Justine, if they get reported. And then I just block them. So, there's that. Yes, my granddaughter is so bossy. So my son was telling me that she does the side eye really well, you know, like that thing. She does that really well for 3 years old, which is scary for when she's 13. But her new thing right now is, so we were over there a couple weekends ago, and she had just had her bath. So my son brings her downstairs and she's just in her chonies and it was cold. And I was like, don't you want to get dressed? And my daughter-in-law's like, oh yeah, let me get your clothes. And she said, oh, Mom, am I going to go? I'm going to go with 𝓕𝓾𝓸𝓹 𝓥𝓪𝓬. And they were decorating the house for Christmas. And I go, oh, you got to stay here with Mom and Dad and help them decorate. And she put her head down. This is her new thing. She put her head down and she said, my mom and dad, they don't like me. That's her new thing. So everybody doesn't, if you don't like, or if she says they don't like me, then you're going to feel sorry for her and you're going to do what she says. She's so funny. Because they're trolls, 𝓕𝓸. They're just trolls. It's just, there's a whole generation of idiots that didn't get a spanking. They've never been told no. You know, I mean, and they just think it's okay to go troll. I mean, come on, you see them every day on TV. It's just ridiculous. It's like a whole generation of, I won't say the word, but anyways, it's a whole generation, and it's really sad. I watched this video the other day. It's all over frickin' YouTube. Everybody's sharing it. They're showing this little girl in Walmart who's like literally throwing stuff all over the store. Let me know if you guys saw this video. She's like throwing bottles of champagne. She's throwing a temper tantrum, and people are trying to stop her. And the mom is like, don't touch her. Don't yell at her. She doesn't know what she's doing. It's not like, I mean, if the little girl was like autistic or, you know what I mean, something like that, it's understandable. Those types of things are uncontrollable, or, you know, you have to handle them with kid gloves, if you will. But this little girl was just throwing a temper tantrum in Walmart. She just didn't get what she wanted or whatever. And so she's throwing stuff off the shelves. And, you know, and the mom's like, don't touch her. This, what is it called? This, gentle parenting is stupid. It's stupid. Anyways, that's my own opinion and I'm entitled to it. But, you know, I mean, I'm not saying you got to go beat your kids or yell at them constantly. I mean, listen, I was a yeller with my kids. And now it irritates me when I hear my sons yell at their kids. So you know, there's a happy medium somewhere, but, oh my gosh, the scammers are so bad. So check this out. When we were buying the house, I had to go, you know how you have to like wire money, you know, the down payment. I've never experienced, like, I had to go into the branch and it was like this whole process and we had to verify, like I had to call the lady, you know, that was receiving the wire with the guy sitting next to me. It was like this whole thing. And I was like, what is going on? I get it. And listen, anytime I wire a huge amount of money, I'm like, you know, super nervous because, you know, it's out in the air somewhere. Like, I don't, it was scary. But I was like, why is it so, like, this is so crazy? And they said, because of scammers. The scams have gotten so bad that they're intercepting wires like crazy. So then I was like, I mean, I felt good. I had the lady receiving the wire, the guy who's sending the wire in my bank, and I'm sitting there. So I got to, like, you know, manage the whole thing and see it happen and take place, which was fabulous. But it's gotten so bad. I mean, horrible. I'm not Debbie. I didn't know anything about that. The book of Luke, a chapter a day in December. Oh. Okay, I came up with a name for my candle. I wanted a name for my candle, for my signature name. I know I'm slow at this. Let's see, hold on. Let me go to here. I'm very slow at this, getting the candle up, but I'm telling you guys, I just really want to be ready and prepared when the website goes live. It's not live yet, so nobody has missed out. I said before, and I'm going to keep repeating it, I'm going to let you guys know when the website's going to go live, and honestly, it's going to be after Christmas at this time because I'm just so busy right now, and I'm working on it, but I don't want to make it live until I'm physically here. But I did get my scale this morning delivered, so I can weigh the package, and then I'm getting my my label printer. It's a lot. There's a lot to do, and then I just got my Shopify up. I've got to get pictures of the candle, but I did come up with a name. I had my son help me, or my kids help me with the name of the candle, and I need to find it. It's on my phone, and I can't do it because, let me go to history here. It's coming, I promise. So my boys, I don't know if you guys know this, but my two older boys, well, my oldest for sure now, I don't know if my second son still speaks French, but my two oldest boys are trilingual. I know my oldest one is for sure still trilingual because he's married to His wife is trilingual. So they speak English, Spanish, and French. And my mom is French, so it was wonderful because my boys were able to speak to my mom. And then in French, my mom spoke English with an accent, very heavy. And then my mother-in-law doesn't speak English. She speaks Spanish only, so the boys were able to speak Spanish to her. All three of my boys are bilingual, but the two older ones took French, and it was very easy for them. My youngest son wasn't interested in that. When he was in high school, he wasn't interested in that. I'm trying to look for it because I can't pronounce. I mean, I can say it if I listen to it. But I wanted it to incorporate Proverbs 16:3. And so I sent that. And then I love French. And so I sent that to the family group text. And my oldest son just blew it out the water. And it was, it's wonderful. So I put it in my dag nabbit. I am just a mess, aren't I, you guys? Okay, here we go. Where's my store? I already... Oh my gosh. There we go. Log in. Yeah. Okay, here we go. It didn't save. Rude. It didn't save. Well, you guys will find out. But anyways, I wanted my my candle to incorporate those two things. So you speak. I think that Spanish is romantic. I think that French can be romantic and I think that Italian can be romantic. And I say that because my mom and her family being French and Italian, that they're very passionate people. So it depends on what conversation you're listening to. That determines whether the language is feisty or romantic. I think you'll agree, Angela. It's beautiful, though. Dominique, my sister. Dominique, is that you? Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Oh, you saw that. Yeah, that was, oh my gosh, it was crazy. So anyways, what are we doing? Dominique? Yoo-hoo? Why doesn't anybody use their real names online? I don't get it. Yes. Okay. I hate when people do what I'm doing right now in lives. They're reading. Oh my gosh, these people are annoying. Patty is my name. I'm gonna hide you, or rat. Okay. It doesn't matter what time of day you go on. If you go on in the morning or at night, at night it's so bad. The trolls are so bad at night. I actually wanted to, thank you, Sally. Dothan, Alabama. Oh, Merry Christmas, Donna. Thank you. Mindy, you're not late. I'm live. I don't know when I'm ending the stream, but I love the country home too. I get a lot of questions. When are you guys moving in there? I thought I was clear, but I don't think I was very clear. So we have a second home in the country, but we live here. This is our house. And so right now we have two homes. So yes, eventually we will sell this house. When? I don't know. Maybe never. I don't know what the Lord has in store for us. He said buy that house, so we bought it. And now it's there. And I moved some stuff in there, and we're going to turn that house into, this is the beauty of the position we're in, is we're able to make that home our home while living here, so that we're not in any rush to hurry up and move into that house. We live here. This is our home. So I don't think I was very clear about that, because I got a lot of, it's so sad. Why did you do all that work to the house if you're going to leave? Listen, I make a house a home no matter where we live. We rented a house one time for 1 year, and I poured a concrete patio in the back so that I could enjoy it that summer. That's just, hey, oh, Lisa. Lisa's so popular. Such a popular name. So anyways, so that is our home. So we have lots of plans for that house. It just takes time, number one, and you guys know Ernie works out of state, and money. It takes money. So, but we're going to do things. The first thing we want to do is start planting, which is going to take place this spring. So there's like some really unfun things that need to be done. I say unfun. Things that are not fun, like, pulling water throughout the property and all that kind of stuff. We need to, oh, Naomi, new puppies. I saw a sign, I was tempted, golden doodles for sale on the corner, and I almost called, but then I remembered how much work they are. So, thank you, Karen. So, you moved from the country into town. I'm trying to get out of town. It's just here in Murfreesboro. I'm just going to tell you, here in Murfreesboro, the local government is very greedy, is what I've noticed. That's just my own, just what I've figured. They're just allowing building to just run amok. It's crazy. Oh, so cute. And so you'll notice that, just in the 2 years, it'll be what's the date today? In 1 week, it'll be 2 weeks or 2 years that we moved into this house. It's 2 years on December 1st that we closed on this house, but and on the 15th, we moved into this house 2 years ago. And just in those 2 years, this town has exploded. Now, we lived in Temecula, California, and we lived there for 9 years. And in the 9 years that we lived there, this town has done the same amount of growth that it took that town 9 years to do. You will drive down. It's like these people. Sorry, there's nobody at my door. It's just when a car goes by. When think about it, 30 years ago or 20 years ago or 10 years ago, people thought they were buying a home in the country. And all of a sudden, the city has encroached and all around them. There is a home across the street from Kroger, a beautiful country home. And if I had to guess, I would say it's sitting on 5 acres. And on one side of them, they have built a strip mall. I'm excited because the Schlotzsky's is going in, but whatever. Right next to them is a beer and wine, like an alcohol store, like, you know, where they sell alcohol, because you can't get alcohol at the grocery stores here. You have to go to an actual liquor store. So liquor store was built right next to them. And then there's a tree line, thin tree line, and then their home, their property. On the other side, that's been sold and they're developing over there. So you have these people who thought they bought, you know, mind you, right across the street is a whole strip mall. There's a Kroger and all the other things that come with it, a vet and all this stuff. So these people, mind you, bought a home in the country in Tennessee however many years ago, and now they live next door to a liquor store. And I just think that's so sad. There's no infrastructure. So here in my neighborhood, if you go out the main entrance, not the back entrance, but the main entrance, there are some, you know, we're surrounded by beautiful, you know, acreage, people on acreage. It's beautiful. I don't see those people selling. I don't. However, if you make a left-hand turn and go past those houses, maybe a block and a half, on the right-hand side was duplexes. They're all getting knocked down because the farmer sold the land behind them. Or, you know, the farmer obviously owned, they're moving the houses, but they didn't like, you know, trash them or whatever. They're moving them. And they're building a whole new development like what I live in. Now, I don't mind these developments. I think they're great here and there. Now, where we're moving, where we bought the country home, we live in the country of that place, of that city, but even in town, that particular government is controlling the growth because they want to keep it, good morning, country, you know, and so it's very sad. It's the growth. It's because people are leaving New York and California and all that stuff and looking for, you know, good places to go live, you know, that they can afford. And, you know, that's fine. That's fine. But they need to do some, I mean, at what point are they going to say, okay, it's full. Murfreesboro's full, you know, like it's crazy. I am excited about the In-N-Out, though, that's coming. Oh, wow, Sally. Sally, where are you? Again, are you in California? Oh, I just watched a story this morning on Fox News. There's a couple in Sparta, Georgia. They own I want to say it's like 110 acres and a beautiful home on it. And that land that they own and live on is land that his dad farmed and his grandfather farmed, you know, cotton and whatever, you know, that's their property. They own it. And they're freaking coming in and taking land or trying to take land from them over eminent domain. Now, eminent domain shouldn't exist. I'm sorry, it should not. I don't understand how it's constitutional to have the government or the local government come in and say, oh, we need your land and it's for infrastructure, so we're taking it. I don't understand how that's okay. It just pisses me off. I don't understand. Wow, $7,000 a year. Woo! Wow, Mindy. Yeah. I mean, when you say people, it's not people that live local, right? It's people coming in from other. So when you move from, hey, Tony, when you move from, like places like California to Tennessee, I'm assuming there's people in California who sold their home and made hundreds of thousands of dollars. And, I'm just speaking for this state, and come in and they buy, for cash or almost cash, their homes, their properties, and then they have, they have all the money in the world to do whatever they want. And then you have people like me who moved to Tennessee to live like a Tennessean. You know what I mean? And we're trying to get away from all of that. So I just, yeah. They need to really put it, it needs to stop. Ernie was telling me that 80% of the population lives on this side of the United States. There's like a whole graph that shows it. Why is that? So strange. Yeah. It's crazy. But anyway, so where we bought the country cottage, that county or that local government is keeping a cap on growth because they want it to stay country and small town, and I love that. So there is development going on, don't get me wrong, but it's very few and far between. Now, how long will that remain? I don't know. However, where we bought, it's going to take a really long time for it to get out there, I hope. So, yeah, people are sick of California. I only have one sister left there, and my one son, and then one niece. Everybody else is gone, and then Ernie's family's there. They'll never leave. My family left. They moved. So, and I have one sister. She's in Arizona. I have a son in Arizona. So I love that my son has my sister near him. And my nephew just left California, Orange County. And I think he was in Orange County. No, where was he? He just moved to Arizona. So I have him there. I have a sister in Georgia. I have two sisters here in Tennessee, East Tennessee. I have a sister in Texas. But she's been there forever, my sister in Texas. I had a sister in Oregon, God rest her soul. And did I get everybody? I think so. Oh, my brother. Where is my brother now? I think he's in Washington still. I don't know. He's single, never been married. He moves around a lot. We don't talk, not on purpose. We just have never had a relationship. I don't know, it's weird. Like, when I see him, I hug him, we say hi, whatever, but we don't have a relationship like that. But I think he's in Washington State too. Yeah. So Ernie and I came to visit about a year before, no, maybe 2 years before we actually made the move to Tennessee. We went to Knoxville, and near my sister that lives in East Tennessee, we went to this neighborhood, and it wasn't the time, If it was the time for us to move here, we would have, but it wasn't. And we looked at a property, and Ernie was sold. So the property was 1.5 acres with tree line behind it. We shared a lake, small lake. I call it a lake. They probably call it a pond out here, but it's a lake. We shared it with the property next door. We each had our own dock. And there was no house on it, but they had 3 builders, and we could select which builder we wanted. And it was $450,000 for the land and a brand new build, and it was 2,500 square feet. So you had to build a minimum of 2,500 square feet. That was the whole thing with the neighborhood, which I was like, what? That's so crazy. And it was single story, and Yeah, I never heard of that. Like, you get to choose your builder, and it has, and it had to sit so many feet, back from the road. It was a whole thing. But we were sold. We were like, oh my, Ernie was on the phone with realtors, while we were there. But it just didn't work out. It just wasn't the time. Now, that property is probably worth not a ton more, but yeah, a lot. We didn't leave I lived in the worst part of California during that nonsense. I lived in San Jose. I don't know if you guys ever knew that, but we sold, it was so crazy. It was like from one week to the next, when we all got duped with that. So I remember going to Walmart, and I was on the phone with Ernie, and I was like, we're talking, and I'm walking through Walmart, and there's like this frenzy. And there was a bunch of people in the toilet paper section, and there was like no toilet paper. And I was like, what's happening? I was so confused. I was like, what's happening? I go, babe, something's happened. Something's weird. Something's happening. People are buying toilet paper. I just thought it was so weird. Anyways, our house was on the market, and we sold the house and closed. I want to say we closed on a Sunday, but that doesn't make any sense. We closed just 2 days or 3 days before New Scum shut down California, or the government shut down the world. Anyways, so then we heard, people were losing their jobs. It was like, all the craziness that came with it. And so we were afraid that we weren't going to be able to sell the house, because we're like, who sells our house in the middle of chaos? Well, it turns out it was an Army vet and her daughter. She's retired and divorced, and her mom that bought our house. And so they didn't have to qualify for, like, their income didn't have to qualify to buy. The mom, the only glitch in that sale was that the mom had no credit. She was a millionaire, but she had no credit because she bought everything cash. So it was so weird, because they had to quick add her to, so they had to add the mom to one of the daughter's credit cards to show a credit card history. I mean, we live in the only country where you have to prove you're in debt or you have debt in order to buy something, even though you can buy it cash. It was the weirdest thing. So the mom had enough money in the bank to buy my house 3 times over. Well, in that account anyways. So bye, 𝓕𝓸𝓹. So have a great day. So anyways, it was the weirdest thing. So anyways, we closed, and I moved in with Ernie to the apartment in Northern California, because we were going to travel to see where it was we wanted to buy. But of course, we ended up staying there for a year because of all the nonsense, and nobody was traveling. And so then we ended up buying a house back in Southern California, living another year in Southern California at that house. And then I moved back to Northern California because the kids moved to Tennessee. And so we sold that house, moved back to Northern California, and then for another year. It was a crazy time. I'm just so happy to be to be here. So anyways, yeah, that was a lot of craziness that happened there. So now we have the Venezuelan gangs that have arrived here in Tennessee. So that's fun. They're in Memphis, Knoxville, Nashville, Chattanooga. San Jose. San Jose and Sacramento, Davis. I know what area you're talking about. Oh, there's a girl on YouTube, Jenny. What's the name of her channel? It's a gardening channel. She lives in the Davis area. What is the name of her channel? I always forget the names of channels. Somebody told me to put all my favorites, like put them at the bottom. Janie, yeah. So you watch her too. Yeah. I've never been to Oregon. I've never had any interest in going to Oregon or Washington State, ever. I've been to Washington, D.C., but not Washington State. That was fun. That was a fun trip where me and my girlfriend went to Washington, D.C. to go see the White House. And we drove onto White House property in her big old Suburban. We drove up. We were just going to stop and ask if they could tell us where the White House was because we were looking for the White House. This is Lisa. I put the video, the reunion video. It was during that trip. Thank you. Yeah, that's her. Anyways, we went to Washington and we wanted to go see the White House and all that. And so we drove from Virginia. She lived in Stafford. We drove to Washington, D.C. and we're looking for the White House. We wanted to get like a good picture of the White House. Yeah, we were in our 20s. And we was we in 20? No, we were in our 30s. Yeah, we were in 30s already. And so we pull up because we saw these men standing there, and we pull up, and all of a sudden they all charge to the car, and they have those mirrors on the sticks to look under the car, and you know, they roll down the windows. She rolls down the window. She goes, "Excuse me, sir. We're looking for the White House. Can you please tell us where that is or how to get a good look at it," or whatever it was she asked. And he goes, "Ma'am, you're on White House property. It's right there beyond those trees." And we're like, oh my God. We're the only two people that couldn't find the freaking White House. I don't know what direction, because now I see it on TV. I'm like, how did we miss that? I don't know what direction we came in or what road we were traveling down to where we didn't see the White House, because, you know, there's a lot of white buildings in Washington, D.C. So I don't know. Let me tell you what, Lisa is so smart that it's weird to me that she wouldn't have. I mean, the girl's got an IQ of off the charts. So it's shocking to me that she didn't know, you know, which building was White House or how to see it. I don't remember the exact question we asked, but it was so freaking hilarious. Then we felt like complete idiots, but we laughed and laughed. The Wise Guide channel. What is that about? Well, it's okay. So we're on White House property, but it wasn't like through the gates or anything. From what I remember, it's many years ago. It's like you're driving down the road and there's like this, it's not really a driveway. It's like an extra road, I guess. So there's like a median in the middle of the main road. And then we pulled into this thing because we saw the guy standing there. And it was a little road, and I don't remember if it came back out again. Probably did. Anyways, so it wasn't, so I guess it was considered White House property, but it wasn't like, we weren't through the gates or anything like that. It was like, it's probably like one of the entrances that, you know, I do remember gates. So I guess it's considered White House because you're close enough to the White House to where, yeah, things were not blocked back then. So I guess you're close enough to the White House to where, you know, it's considered the property of the White House. It's probably one of the entrances. I don't know. I'm assuming like probably media or something. We didn't look like media. I promise you that. Never heard of him. Oh, wait. Maybe I have watched him. Now that I'm thinking about it. Wise Guide or Guy? Yeah. Maybe I have watched him. I don't know. I just scroll I just scroll through YouTube and whatever's, interesting. But anyways, I haven't started any Christmas shopping yet. Ernie and I we're gonna go this weekend. I'm not gonna have time to go Christmas shopping in California. Oh, Mindy, that's so funny. Mindy said she did the same thing at Fort Custer military base. She was looking for Fort Custer recreation area, and she was met by soldiers with guns who informed her to turn around now. Guide. Okay. Good morning, Sherry. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to do some Christmas shopping. It'll make me feel better. And then I won't have any time when I'm in California. We've got a pretty busy schedule leading up to Christmas Day. And I don't definitely want to go Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve. It's not my forte. It's not like what I like to do, especially where we're going to be staying. This will be so busy. So I want to get it all done here. And so we're going to go this weekend for the kids here. And I'm going to shop online for my son and daughter-in-law in Arizona and just have that shipped directly to them. And then I may do the same I think I'll shop for my daughter-in-law and son in California here. I'm going to take all of my gifts that I buy and wrap on the plane with me because I don't trust the people who load your luggage. Hey, Lucy. Thank you. I don't trust the people during Christmas time, that they'll probably be, I don't know. You hear about stuff getting stolen all the time, right? And I'm like, Christmas time has got to be really bad. Okay. So we're going to do that. I'm going to shop online for them. So I'm just trying to figure it out. Somebody told me yesterday they were done. They only had like one more gift to get. What? It's just went really fast. I can't even believe it. So sitting here last night with my son, and we were talking, and I said, oh my gosh, Rob, I go, me and your dad are leaving like literally the next week after the following days after watching the kids. And he goes, yeah, that's right. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. It's just that quick. So I have 2 weeks to get it all done. So, and I got to undecorate because I'm not going to keep my house decorated for Christmas. I do not want to come home to a Christmas tree and anything Christmas. I want to get my house to the bare minimum. So, and I think Ernie's driving home and he's going to have his truck for that time period. And he's driving back. I may go back to Florida with him. So, we'll see for the new year. We shall see. Our anniversary is almost exactly a month after Christmas. We'll be married 41 years. How does that happen? I don't know. I feel like I just met that guy. That's your excuse. There you go. I don't know how 41 years goes by so fast. They say if it goes by quick, or it seems like it went by quick, you had a good time. If it seems like it went really slow, it wasn't so good. That's what they say anyways. I don't know. But I feel like that quick, 41 years. I met him when I was 16. He was 17. It reminds me of that song. I was 16. He was 17. 40 years last August. Yeah, you guys have been married about the same as us. We're January. Yep. 41 years. I mean, my goodness. And people always say, what is the secret to a long marriage? Oh, I love that, Sandy, on New Year's Eve. That's so special. We didn't choose. Oh my goodness, Mary, congratulations. 45 years tomorrow. Bravo. I love hearing that. I think today, the youth or the younger, their marriages are so flip it, you know? If it doesn't work out, I can get a divorce. No big deal. Yeah, Sally, we were high school sweethearts too. Congratulations. 48 years. Wow. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I was 16. He was 17. 45. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. So wonderful. We're not big celebrators of those things, you know, like I don't believe in, not that anybody that does, I mean, but I don't care if people do. It's not like I'm saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying we are not the kind of people that like renewed our vows. You know, I know a lot of people do that. It's like a big thing. We're just not followers of that kind of stuff. And for so many years, people were like, because I got married in maternity clothes at like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday by the Justice of the Peace. And then Ernie dropped me off at home and he went home. You know, we didn't even live together. We got married because I was pregnant. And anyways, so everybody always said, don't you ever want, you know, don't you want to wear a wedding dress? Don't you want to have the big wedding? I'm just not, you know, I don't understand a lot. I mean, I get it. I look at wedding dress. I'm a woman, so, you know, do I wish I would have ever got to wear a wedding dress? Of course. I've planned out my wedding a million times and my, you know, the perfect wedding and, you know, but I asked all my daughter-in-laws this question. And their answer was interesting. I asked all of them, if you, I agree, Mary, if you had a choice, now that you guys have been married, had a choice, congratulations, Sherry, 41 years, to get married and have the big wedding like you did, or buy a house right away, which one would you have chosen? They all said buy a house right away. So, bye, Naomi. Enjoy. Love it, Kathy. Wonderful. Congratulations. I love it. I love all these high school sweetheart stories. We're like it doesn't exist anymore. I think like after us, it kind of goes away. Unless, you know, our grandkids and stuff do the same thing. But, what was I saying? Oh. So sweet. Look at that. There's so many people that have been married for so long. I love it. Valentine's Day. So cool, Mindy. I love that. Wow. 41 years in June. I know. People do. They say, do you guys get that too? Where it's like, what's the secret? Or, wow, that's a long time. It's like, well, you do marry for life, you know? But I always tell people there's no secret. There's no perfect marriage. So if you're waiting for the perfect marriage, or you're going to keep divorcing or breaking up with somebody because there's like this perfect thing, right, that's going to happen, it's not. It doesn't exist. You fight, you get mad, you know, you just do. You just work through all the nonsense, you know. You're together for life. You got to figure it out, you know. I don't know. But the big wedding. Exactly, Mindy. Of course, Karen. None of it. You know, all three of my boys are married. I don't ask them about their relationships, but I know they're married and I know what comes with relationships. You know what I mean? Wonderful, Naomi. Love it. But, so we didn't have that. And I'm the same with funerals too. Ernie gets mad because I tell him all the time, just cremate me and put me in an urn and have everybody come to the house and put me on the mantle and, you know, cry or tell stories about me. Don't frickin' pay these places, you know, thousands of dollars to put me in the ground and have the sobbing people dressed in black standing around. That's stupid. Don't frickin' do it. I don't know. Don't do it. Frickin' cremate me. Give a little bit of me to all my boys to put on their mantle or somewhere. And frickin' That's it. Don't spend $989 for direct cremation and have me put in an urn. I don't freaking get the whole, how everybody is so, like, I'm not going to the grave to go visit you. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I'm not doing it. I want to remember you. Okay, let me rephrase that. If my husband wants to be buried, I absolutely will probably go cry on his grave for years. So let me rephrase that. For me personally, though, I don't want that. Don't put me in the ground. Eventually you're going to forget about me. And what if you move out of state? Then who's going to come visit me? You know what I mean? I just put me in an urn. That's it. And have everybody dress in black to come to the house. I don't know. Have a party. Cook some food. Put some music on, old school. It's got to be old school music. Listen to my favorite music and laugh and cry and tell stories. But don't frickin' stand around under a tent, with some priest who doesn't know me or pastor who doesn't really know me doing a sermon, and then you've just paid somebody thousands of dollars for a box to put me in, to put in the ground. That's another thing I don't get, is it drove me freaking nuts, like when my dad died and I had to go with my mom to the funeral home, and it was, you're so devastated anyways, and then having to make this decision on what could be afforded for, the casket. And they charge these thousands of dollars for these boxes that are going to be put under dirt in the ground and rot. I don't get it. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me at all. And somehow we've been fed this lie that this is the way it's supposed to be done. Now, when my sister passed away, unfortunately, she was not married. And she has a son who's a complete loser drug addict. And we didn't have a funeral for her. We all got together at my older sister's house in California. It's when we were all still living there, or the ones who didn't live there traveled in. And we sat around and, drank too much and cried and told stories, and that was it. I don't even know who has her ashes. Maybe my sister Barbara in Texas does. I don't even know. But that was all we needed. We didn't need this. One of her best friends came too, I think. Ooh, I can't stand that lady anyways. It was one of her best friends that she grew up with and went to high school with, who I couldn't stand was there. But whatever, she was there. And that was it. That's all we had. And ordered his casket off Amazon. Lord have mercy. Okay, well, you know what? Whatever works for people. My mom would have never, ever thought to do what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, she had to have the ceremony. She had to have the viewing. She had to have all the things. I don't knock people for that. I absolutely will not go to a funeral anymore unless I have to. Knock on wood. I just won't go. They are depressing to me. I want to remember my cousin, my aunt, my uncle, whoever. I want to remember them the way I last saw them. I don't want to remember them in that position. So, I getcha. I get it. My father-in-law is buried in the cemetery. My mother-in-law has to go to his grave. I personally want to remember my father-in-law. That last interaction I had with him before he actually died, when I first got to the hospital, and that last interaction that I had with him, where he couldn't talk because he had had a stroke, and but his eyes said it all, and he didn't need to say a word, and we had a moment, him and I. That's my moment that I had with my father-in-law after many years of him and I doing this. I know that his eyes were saying to me that he was sorry. And I could tell. And we had that moment, and that's how I want to remember him. I don't like the whole, but I get it. There's so many people that are like that, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. My mother-in-law has to go to the graveside of my father-in-law, and hey, if I had I don't even want to say it, but if I had a child who was buried, I would be right there with you, if it's your child. So I get it. That's what I meant when I said, yeah. But for me personally, this body, that's what I want. So it has nothing, I'm nothing against anybody. That's just, but it's just that it costs so much. Why does it have to cost so much to die? I don't get it. Why do they have to put the family who's going through an unbearable amount of pain already through financial strain as well? It just pisses me off. Like, why are these people not being controlled? Why do they get to charge so much money for somebody who dies? I don't get it. Yeah, that moment was needed with my father-in-law, but yes, Laura, I'm sorry about your granddaughter. Yeah, the funeral industry is, because they play off our emotions. Let me tell you this story. Let me tell you this story. This pissed me off, and I probably have said it one time before. So my father-in-law's, he's in the hospital, okay? He's going to die. We know this already, okay? God rest his soul. He's going to die. My mother-in-law is going through the most, unbearable pain at the thought of losing him. My husband, his siblings, it's a horrible time, right? And so they take him out of intensive care. They put him in a room, and maybe an hour after, he's in this room, they call us all into this office of, meeting room, boardroom type area. And we're meeting with two people that work with the hospice portion of the hospital. And they come in and they're telling us, about all these places that we could send my father-in-law to. He's already in the hospital, okay? At this point, he's unconscious. He's already had more strokes. He's unconscious. And then the way we're thinking of it is, okay, he's going to pass away. We just don't know when, but he's here. He's in the hospital, and we're going to stay by his side and comfort each other and, do whatever it is we need to do. People were coming in, visiting. We literally took over a whole waiting room on that floor. People were coming, the whole waiting room. It was spilling out of the waiting room. People were bringing donuts and pizza and coffee, and it was a whole thing. It was like, and everybody was taking turns going in and visiting with this unconscious man. And so they call us in to this meeting room, and they're talking to us about these places that we could take him to let him die in. And these places are going to cost thousands of dollars. We don't know how much, because I think the initial was like $7,000 or $8,000 to even get him there. And then depending on how long it took for him to pass, it was going to cost us more money. And I'm sitting at the end of this table, and I'm watching these two women and having them, talk about this. I'm looking at my mother-in-law. I'm looking at my sister-in-laws, my brother-in-law, my husband. I'm looking at them, and they're just like in that daze, and something just took over me. And I go, can you ladies just leave all of that information on the table and give us a minute, please, for some privacy? And they said, sure. And they left and they walked out. And I said, you guys, we don't have to make any decisions right now, okay? We don't need to make any decisions right now, okay? We need right now is for you guys to go visit with your dad, go sit with your dad, go do what you need to do. Right now, we're going to table this. We're not going to do that. So we all got up, left, and Ernie and I walked over to the ladies and said, we're going to think about it. We have your pamphlets. Thank you. And we walked away because that's how I am. I was shut them off, whatever. At that point, I told Ernie, I go, your mom needs to eat. There's a lot of people. Let's take her. So me, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, my husband left. I think maybe my sister, did they go? I don't know. For sure. We took my mother-in-law. We took her off hospital property away. We drove away. We went to go have a hamburger. We were near La Jolla, California, so we went somewhere in La Jolla. We went to go have a hamburger. And just get her away from all the crowd, all the people, all the things. And I think my brother-in-law took her home from there. I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. I think he took her home from there so that she could just rest. And we were on our way back. We were already walking back into the hospital. And those ladies called my husband because he was a point of contact. And they, have you decided? Have you decided on where you guys want him moved? And so I told my husband, I go, hang up with them. Tell them no. We haven't decided. We need to go visit all the places. Tell them that and hang up the phone. So he did, and he hung up. He's much nicer than I am. I'm not nice when it comes to that. So I was mad. So anyways, me and Ernie were tired at this point because we were spending the night at the hospital. And we could not figure out how to get that sofa to turn into a bed so we both can lay flat. So we were like on the sofa on either end. It was awful. Well, this particular evening, it was a really busy day. It was a really bad day and a lot of people. And I went up to the nurse's station. I said, can you guys do me a favor? We're so tired and we really need to get some sleep. Can you guys put a note, like a sign on the door, say no visitors at this time so that we can get some sleep, without having to worry about a constant, a bunch of people walking in? Absolutely, they said. So they did that for us. And we figured out how to get that bed to lay flat. And that way we could, we both passed out. My father-in-law ended up passing away that evening. But anyways, I had told the doctor that. And so Ernie went out to go tell everybody, Anna and I are really tired. They took my mother-in-law home. My sister-in-laws went home because they still had small kids at the time. So they had to go tend to the children. And while that was all happening, the doctor came in and he said, he peeked his head in the door and he goes, how's he doing? And I said, and he goes, I said, they're trying to get us to move him to hospice. He goes, why? And I said, well, I don't know. And he goes, we can take care of here what they would do at hospice. So anyways, we talked about all that and we got that taken care of. So long story short, my father-in-law passed away that evening and we didn't have to come out of pocket with $7,000 or $8,000 to transfer him to a place because he got to stay very comfortable in that bed that they had put him in. And we got to have a quiet night and fall asleep. But that is just a little piece of probably what many people experience with this, money-making machine that wants to make money off of people's emotions. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's always about the money. So I guess that's why I'm kind of hardcore when it comes to giving hard-earned money to these places. When people are, I don't want Ernie, if I die, I don't want him to, he's already going to be sad enough. He better be. I don't want him to have to make financial decisions to impress anybody. Like, I loved her so much, I'm spending $30,000 on her funeral. No. Spend $1,000, put me in an urn, and have people come to the house and you guys eat and have fun and dance. I don't want him to I don't want to do that to my loved ones. I don't want to know that my loved ones are stressing out over how to take care of essentially a gathering for other people. You know what I mean? Because it's not old school anymore. I mean, it may be in your family, but for some reason, I feel like when I was little and a family member passed away, we'd go to another family member's house and everybody would bring food, right? After the funeral. Like everybody walked in with a casserole or a plate of this or a plate of that. Nowadays, I feel like it's up to the people who are throwing the funeral to feed the people who are coming to, I don't know, it's weird. It's turned into like this. You really have to be, Kathy. You have to be an advocate. If you are not an advocate for yourself, then nobody's gonna, I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah. It's like flowers. Don't bring me flowers when I die. I'm not going to enjoy them. Bring me flowers now. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be here forever. Like, whatever. So it is what it is. Okay. It's not, so I'm not trying to be sad, but hospitals are horrible. It's just a horrible thing, you know, like these days. It's so weird how we've been trained, you know, this whole time. Boy, that sure took what a fun live. Let's change the subject. Now I know why people drink. Yeah, see, it's so crazy. It's so common. It's just so common. A live plant. Yeah, bring me a live plant, dag nabbit. I love it. Woohoo. Yes, ma'am. I was so excited. We were at the country house and Ernie was talking to the guys who installed the fence. He was like telling them, you know, all these different things. And you know, there's priorities that we have to do, but I mean, I'm still going to garden here. You know, I need to get to that back. I got too cold too quick. If I have some nice days, I'm going to go out there and weed for sure, because that strip of grass, and we did that whole, there's a lot of work that needs to be done back there. Let me just leave it at that. But Ernie's going to, one of his first priorities is to build my vegetable garden at the new property, so I'm very excited. I'm not sure, Mary, we are going today. I might get footage of that. I don't know. I mean, I'm filming every day and uploading every day. All of my videos haven't been doing fabulous, so I'm like, why am I doing, vlogmas? People aren't watching. I mean, you guys are. They're not doing fabulous. I just thought they would do better, you know? I don't know. Because it's a lot of work to film, edit, upload, you know? It's fine. So this is today's Vlogmas because I thought it would be fun to do a couple lives during Vlogmas. I'm not going to do, well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do because I don't know. I always change my mind. Because I can film on this and I have editing software, or I don't know what you call it on my, yeah, Monique. I agree. Welcome, Monique. I agree. I'm so happy. I mean, you know, it's really hard to be a content creator and come on live and share your personal opinion because you can turn people off 100%. But I don't care. I am me, and I will always be 100% me with you guys and transparent. But I'm just me. Just because I have an opinion about something doesn't mean I'm expecting you to have an opinion. Ernie has a complete different opinion about dying than I do. And I love him and I respect it. You know what I mean? So You always. I don't do my nails myself. I wish I could. I mean, I did go to school for it, and but I can't do this hand. I'm right-handed, so I can't do I can't do I did them during COVID when the nail salons were shut down. I did my own nails, and I did a decent job, but yeah. But anyways, it's just really hard to be a content creator, and you can't please everybody. You can't, it's just not possible. And I'm a people pleaser. It's in my blood to want to please people. I just had to learn how that's not even possible with YouTube. And so I just don't even try anymore because I can't. Thank you, Mary. You're so sweet. I have to I have to be I have to be real. If you're not real, then what are you? And you guys aren't dumb. People who watch YouTube are not dumb. You know what I mean? Like, you can spot a phony a mile away. I can. I don't. Oh no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it. First of all, Kathy, why are you having a hard time getting into the Christmas spirit? Is it the weather? Everybody here will try and help you get into the spirit. Oh my gosh. Oh, hide user. Sorry guys, I'm getting rid of the trolls. Exactly. And you shouldn't argue with people. If you're watching their content and you don't agree with what they say, just leave. You don't have to argue with people. That's the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion. I watch a lot of YouTubers. I don't agree with who they are as in life, but I like their content. But I'm not going to not watch them or not support them because we don't see eye to eye. You know what I mean? That's just silly. That's what makes the world go round, different opinions and respect. That is something that I have had to work on so hard for myself, is respecting others' opinions, because for so many years, my downfall was my way or the highway, and I would shut you off if you didn't think the way I thought, period, or if you didn't agree with me. That's how I was. I was that person, and I'm not that person anymore. I mean, it's still in me to do that. I just have to work extra hard to listen and respect and, come up with the, how I'm going to handle the conclusion, but I don't, that's something I've really had to work hard on, is respecting other people's opinions. It's just, yeah, Kathy, Christmas music, Christmas movies. Go look at, do you have something Christmas in your area that you can go enjoy? Christmas window shopping or something like that. Go sit on Santa's lap. Go get a picture with Santa. Look at how helpful you guys are. You guys are so helpful. Aw. I say she goes to sit on Santa's lap. That'll help. There you go. See? I'm full of ideas. Okay. All right. How long have I been on here for? 84 minutes? My coffee's cold. All right, Laura, have a great day. I'm actually going to get going too. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on Vlogmas Day 6. Oh, Mindy, I love that. You shopped your attic. You see, I don't want to go. I'm reading all these. Hold on. There's so many things. Okay, before I go, there's somebody that told me they love how I entertain myself. And learning how to entertain yourself or enjoy the season. Okay, I had a really hard day the other day. I had a really tough day. And I had a tough day because it's the Christmas season. My tree's up, my mantle's decorated, my kitchen's decorated. And I was scrolling, big mistake, on Instagram. And I've said this a million times to you guys. Okay, not a million, but a lot. Instagram is lethal. Like, it's the worst place to hang out because everybody always shows the best. Or you have content creators who create content for Instagram, because they're working with, as, partner with a product or whatever, or, they're trying to sell themselves, and pretty things sell. So don't hate them for it. That's just how Instagram works. So you have a lot of, the only part about that bothers me is that you have these young moms who have the perfect homes with the perfect kids and the perfect gifts and the perfect food and the perfect shopping experiences. And they're drinking their latte with their freshly done nails and their, done hair and their beautiful makeup and their expensive clothes and all the things. And the people who are watching them that have small children are, probably haven't brushed their teeth because they're so busy, cleaning up the messes and wiping snotty noses and cleaning up spilled milk. The laundry's going and there's chaos in the playroom and, they've got to pay bills later and, they've got to figure out what's for dinner and somehow pull it all together and all the things. That's who their viewers are, right? But they're portraying this, I've got it all together. Look at my beautiful life. That's why I think Instagram can be lethal, because you have strong women like you guys and myself who can look at that and say, you don't got it all together. You've got help in the background, but you're showing these young girls, these young women, because I remember how vulnerable I was as a young mom. I had my first kid when I was 18. I had 2 before I was 21. It was hard. A lot of hard work went into that. You know what I mean? Thank God I had the energy because I was so young. Life was not perfect. Of course, we didn't have social media back then, and we didn't have all these influences. We just tried to do our best, right? And it was good enough. It was good enough, And nowadays, we have these people who are, it's sad because then you have these moms who are just being normal. That's what life is like, right? It's pure. You have your pure chaos mornings. You guys remember. And then you have days that are pretty good. You know what I mean? But there's going to be spilled milk and the floor needs to be swept. I remember talking to my girlfriend, Lisa, and I would say, what are you doing? Because we would clean house. And she would say, oh God, I got the floor swept because if the health department comes. She said, I've got enough food on the floor to feed an army. I've got to get it cleaned up before the health department comes. She had 3 kids. Those were the conversations we had as young moms together because that was real life. So you have these young moms who are so vulnerable already because, right, you're young and you're, hey, good morning, Lisa. You're, there's YouTubers, Mindy, that do that. You'd be surprised. You're young, you're already insecure, you're already questioning. Any mom, I don't care if you turn 40 and you have your first child, you're going to question everything you do as a mom, right? Um, so you have these young moms who want the beautiful homes and they want the beautiful, perfect life and all that. The problem is it doesn't exist, the beautiful, perfect life, the way it's portrayed. Your most beautiful, perfect life is the one you're living in your own house with your kids and your husband, and if there was a Instagram channel that said that to these women, then that would be so good, because it's just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. You know what? It probably is super stressful for these content creators, I would assume. I know how it works. So you guys don't see me do a lot of sponsored content. Not because sponsors don't want to work with me. They want to work with me. I get so many emails. I refuse. I even get them on Instagram, and I don't have a huge Instagram platform. But it's like, hey, we'll give you this if you do this. You know what I mean? So you'll get a lot of, YouTube content creators. I'm at the point now with my channel to where I can say, oh, it's going to cost you this much. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do a partnership with you, but you have to pay me this much. Plus, I want the product. I'm at that point, but I refuse to do it because, first of all, don't give me a product and tell me that you want this. I have to make sure the product's going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I have to make sure the product's good, because what if it's an awful product and I shared it with you guys and you guys are like, I bought it. You know what I mean? So I would prefer that when I watch YouTube content and somebody has, like, let's say like a vacuum or something, and they say, I've had this for 2 months, or I've had it for a month and I've been using it and I can give you my honest review. That I respect, you know what I mean? But don't pull the vacuum out of the box and tell me it's the greatest vacuum that ever lived, because I don't know what it's going to do in an hour after you're cleaning house. You know what I mean? So I had to learn that. That was a whole learning process, because you definitely get excited when all these companies reach out. I mean, I get the stupidest request for products, but so here's my thing now. I am working with a sponsor right now. It's a big sponsor, and for me, it's a big sponsor. The reason why I'm excited about the sponsor, and you guys will see that eventually, is because I already had stuff in my cart from this company for maybe 4 months, and this company reached out to me, and I was like, what? Are you joking me? I did have to negotiate the amount. So I did have to negotiate the amount of items they wanted to send to me, and they were good with that. So that, like, when does that ever happen? When I'm already shopping, but the reason why I hadn't purchased them is because how many panels I wanted for this house. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to use it for the new house, and so, yeah, I'm super excited about that. So the fact that sorry about that, I keep hitting my desk. The fact that I already had stuff in my cart from this company, because I was, I love the company, and the fact that they reached out to me was, like, amazing. So that is super excited. It's super exciting. So when I do, like, I want to try the Caroway pan. I want to try the Caroway pans. I think that would be fun to do because I like the way they stack up. But I haven't had anybody that has come back that I've watched that have opened those. Tell me, how do they hold up? Now, the pans that I got at Costco, those things, amazing, okay? They are not the original 𝓕𝓾𝓻 brand. They're 𝓕𝓾 something. I can't remember. I'm not going to get up and go get them, but you see me cooking them all the time. I can use metal on them. For real, I can use metal on them and nothing happens. They are so easy to clean. They're the most amazing pans I've ever had. I wish I would have got 2 sets, and I want bigger ones, and they're amazing. Those are like the only pans you ever need in your kitchen ever. They're so good. So, anyways, I use them in all my cooking, you guys, and I've listed them in some of my channel or some of my content. I got them at Costco, and they were on sale, and so I picked them up, and they're great. They're fabulous. So, but I never see anybody come back and say, well, I shouldn't say never. I'm sure I've seen, a couple come back and say, oh yeah, I told you guys about this, and this is, how it is now. You know what I mean? So early on in my YouTube channel, I was like so excited. People wanted to give me stuff. So I was like, yes, 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 and then I realized, wait a minute. I don't know, because they're telling me how to create content for this. And so then I was like, well, if I can afford to buy it myself, I'm not doing a video with you. You know what I mean? Like if I can, I get some silly stuff, you guys. But if I can afford to buy it myself, I'm not doing a video for it, because I would prefer, like my Tinco, my vacuum. Those are my purchases that I bought. I have them all linked, and so that you guys can shop those. But those are my purchases that I made that I truly believe in. And oh my gosh, you guys, I left the vac mop at the house, the country house, and I didn't clean it. So I'm going there today, and that vacuum is going to stink so bad, I might have to throw it away. It's been 2-3 weeks. Yeah. But that's my only problem with that Tinco. You guys know it works like a charm. I love that frickin' vacuum. I actually have missed it because I love it here in my house. And it was a way to clean up that floor easy over there. But I love that vacuum. And I tell you guys that all the time, but it's not sponsored. I bought that with my own money. That's the kind of thing that I like, is when somebody says, I bought this with my own money and I freaking love it. You know what I mean? But I kind of know the channels that will take sponsored content, and I know I can trust them. Like I know the people, because I actually know the people, so I can trust them. You know what I mean? Like they're not just, taking content because it's content. You know what I mean? They're taking products because it's product for content. I trust them. I trust their reviews, is what I'm saying. Like HelloFresh. I haven't seen a whole lot of those lately, but let me tell you my experience before I go with HelloFresh. When we were in San Jose, I ordered HelloFresh. And every single time I would get my order, there would be recipes of missing product, or the veggies, the fruit, or whatever it was, the fresh stuff that they did put in the order were always awful, moldy, bruised. Like I wouldn't use it. So I canceled HelloFresh. It was a bad experience. But I thought when Ernie and I lived at San Jose, we were in an apartment, and I thought, you know what, this would be a great option for us for dinner. It was during COVID, and I thought this would be fabulous. I could make us some really different things. Not every night, but it could be some different foods. And I thought it would be great. It's not cheap, I will tell you that. But that was my experience. So I ended up having to cancel, and I said, you know what, unfortunately, and they reached out. They reached out to me probably about a year ago or more to do a sponsorship, and I just ignored it because I'm like, I can't tell you guys it's great, it's fabulous. It's not. It wasn't, in my opinion. It's no different than you get a really crappy Instacart shopper. You know what I mean? But do you know how frustrating it is to open up the recipes? They give you the recipe cards, and I have them somewhere. I saved all of them that I got. And I think I probably did maybe 3 months. So I gave them 3 months. I gave them I paid for 3 months, and I took, you know, to be fair, I gave them some time to correct, you know, what they were doing wrong, and it wasn't good. So, uh, anyway, so that was my experience. Have you, Lisa? Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. See, the thing is with these pans, I can use metal. It doesn't matter. I don't have to worry. I don't have to have special tools to cook in my pans. I can use whatever I have. And that's the beauty of these pans. And I got them at Costco. And they weren't expensive. But anyway, so that was my experience with that company as far as food goes. So if you've ever been, you know, I don't know if they've gotten better or whatever, but that's why when they reached out to me, I was like, I didn't even respond to the email because I didn't think it was worth it. I thought, how can I share that with you guys? Because it's so frustrating. You're in the middle of cooking a recipe and it's like, you know, the recipes, I will say, are easy to follow and they're delicious. The ones that did come with everything, or I was able to figure out what to use instead of an ingredient that was missing, they were all very delicious. I will tell you that. The food is good, for sure. The recipes are so good. And you get to keep the cards, the recipe cards, so you can remake it yourself. But it's very frustrating when you're in the middle of a recipe and it tells you to do something with an ingredient that didn't come. And it's not an everyday ingredient that you have, you know, in your refrigerator or pantry, because their recipes are not they're not like everyday foods. They're pretty good, you know, like you learn how to make sauces. It's kind of cool. Okay, I will say this about it. It was cool because you kind of learn how flavors combine and how they taste together, and it kind of opens up your mind to trying different things, you know, so you get creative. It allows you to get creative in the kitchen. So I will say that. But for the money, it was extremely frustrating when you're paying that kind of money for meals that you have to cook yourself in your kitchen. Essentially, they're giving you a recipe and they're sending you the ingredients. But the ingredients are missing or they're not fresh. Like, I'm not going to, you know, throw moldy spinach in a sauce or black slimy spinach or, you know, whatever. Not that I got that. I'm just giving you guys an example. Yeah. Yes, Karen, that is happening. And, you know, it's unfortunate. I think a lot of girls are either burnt out or they've run out of content or they think their content is boring and it's not. And I wish somebody would tell them that, you know, your channel is all about cleaning. People that have joined your channel, you know, subscribed, they like the cleaning content and that's why they watch your channel, you know. Or if you're a decorator, that's why they watch your channel. People like it. But my videos are monetized. I don't know how often you guys get commercials. Whatever, you know, I let YouTube decide on that, but that's how I get paid for my videos. And I don't even know if do you guys get commercials on lives? I don't even know. So, and I don't mind, you know, when I can see when one of the girls, you know, are super excited about a sponsorship, like, you know, because that feels good, you know, when a company says, hey, I'll send you this, like my humidifier, that was a sponsorship. I love that. And the one I gave to the kids, they freaking love that thing. We'll see about the sofa that my other son in California got. I'll see that this month when we go for Christmas. You know, the leather sofa upstairs, Ernie loves it. You know, so what I have done, we like, you know, it's great. So yeah, but I like seeing the girls' genuine excitement, you know, over items that they get, because it feels good when a company reaches out and says, hey, we want to send you this. And they're like, oh, you know, we could use that, you know, in the house. There have been commercials. Oh, that's good. Well, good. I'm glad because that's how I get paid. So everything's monetized on my channel. My channel's monetized. So I just didn't know that if I did a live that there's commercials. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, that is it for Vlogmas Day 6. If you are watching this on Rewind, thank you so much for watching it. If you guys joined me live from the beginning, I appreciate you guys so much. And we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye.